A Muslim congregation in Wales is praying for loved ones hit by the devastating Kashmir earthquake.
No food, no medicine, no electricity, no tent, just under the sky.
But it's only the latest shattering event in a terrible year for the Muslim community. Tonight, the Muslims of Wales at a time of crisis, at home and abroad. Cardiff councillor Mohammed is a big player in the long-established Muslim community in Wales. He was appalled when the first British suicide bombers killed dozens of people in London's public transport. Now racist attacks are on the rise. He condemns the terrorists. He worries about the damage done to the good name of Welsh Muslims.
The community felt pretty bad, pretty under pressures. But after a while they realized, hang on, it's nothing to do with us. We've just been used.
This is Cardiff's biggest mosque. It's part of what Muslims call Ummah, their word for the entire Islamic world. The imam, or spiritual leader, condemns the bombers.
It was the great shame for the Muslim Ummah. A few people, they committed the wrong thing. And I think I have no words to utter my sorrow about that. This is the condition of whole of the Ummah.
Good, no fighting, and be a good boy, okay? Right, give Daddy a kiss. Be a good boy, okay?
Councillor Islam takes his children to the school at the heart of the community, the multicultural Kitchener Primary in the city centre. The headmistress, Jane Evans, says the London atrocities have done no damage to relations within the school.
Within the school community, I think that the bombings and the terrorism that we've seen on the news has actually bound the school community together in a stronger way.
How many? Three. Do you think he can do 3 big jumps? Are you ready?
84% of the children come from the ethnic minorities, and 70% of those speak English as a second or third language in many cases, as well as learning Welsh in school.
At the back of our school, we've got this mosaic, a big mosaic, everybody holding hands, and it says we all live together in Riverside, and they're all in different colours, the people holding hands, and they're all smiling.
I think the children learn tolerance and respect. They learn from each other. They learn from each other's families and each other's customs, cultures, religions, and ways of life.
We all got something, didn't we?
There are a lot of people will get to know each other, so there'll be less racism.
I think that the children are going to be the adults of tomorrow, and I think if they can grow up in an atmosphere of tolerance and respect and learning about each other and knowing that we are all different and we do have different values and different faiths and religions, but that we can all live together, and that indeed is the mission statement of our school. We all live together in Riverside.
You can take that in for me.
Many of the parents of these children voted for Councillor Islam. He's also a governor of the school. He got involved in politics because he believed the local community was being shortchanged.
I've been working with this Welsh Muslim community quite a long time. But when community needed something, nobody there for it. And this is what makes me think, hang on, the community need a representation.
One of his responsibilities on the council is planning. At this committee meeting, he had to consider an unusual planning application concerning these 2 houses. They look ordinary. Inside is the oldest mosque in Cardiff.
In number 2, Glenronda Street, in fact, was the first place where the Muslims who migrated to Cardiff earlier in 1886.
Soon afterwards, this purpose-built mosque was erected in Tiger Bay. For a century, it's been a central part of Cardiff's Muslim culture. Now, with a growing population, there's a need for bigger mosques. There are plans to expand the very first one to accommodate the rising number of Muslim students in the city.
The plan is to make the ground floor of number 2 and number 4 like the main prayer room for the men, and the upstairs, the first floor for the women, and also an Arabic library for the congregation.
They regularly pray to Allah.
There are also plans for Cardiff's biggest mosque. They're going to demolish the old structure and erect a new £5 million building. It will be the second biggest mosque in the whole of Britain.
Secretly and openly. Nearly 3,000 people can read prayer, Salat, Eid, Jummah, in different occasions they can attend, and we can accommodate them, nearly 3,000 people.
The Imam, Shah Mohammed Nista, is one of Britain's key Muslim clerics. He's originally from a remote region of Kashmir, badly hit by the recent earthquake. He went to Bradford, not far from where the London bombers came from. In his 27 years in Yorkshire, he built the biggest mosque in Britain. He also founded an Islamic school.
I was the principal and the trustee of that institute, and I'm the trustee of that. Although I moved here, but I have the relation with those people. They respect me.
Food is another important part of Muslim culture. It's called halal. Animals have to be slaughtered with a knife, and the butcher has to cry Allah before he cuts their throats. The Muslim councillor has arranged to get it on the menu at his local market.
When people come down to the market and ask for it, then they can order it for the following week.
Oh, right, that's good. Yeah. So they like normally need a week notice or something like that?
Yeah, only because it's a new product.
Yeah,
so they want to make sure that they've got the people to sell it to, basically. So
There's a lot of demand. A lot of the foreign students, especially Muslim students, they live close to the market, and they can get this halal meat. So it's good for the student as well as good for the residents of Riverside too.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Sport is another key part of Welsh Muslim culture. Today, the local Muslim side is taking on a major London team. The Cardiff Dynamos were set up partly to help keep the youngsters on the straight and narrow, out of trouble and away from drugs.
We do want to see our younger brother, oh, today or tomorrow my child is in the drugs. I don't want to see that. No one wants to see this. And they get into the family system. No, we don't want to see that. So if they're concentrated on a game, they always think, hang on a second, I got a game right, I can't smoke. Right, I got a training to do, I can't smoke. So slowly, you basically put them in the right way.
The local councillor sees the value in what they are doing and is happy to be involved.
Most of the boys, they're from our area, and I involved with them for long times. I'm always trying to helping them to promote their teams.
The young men in the team are angry about the way their Muslim community has been associated with the terror strikes in London.
Basically, it's been the same ever since the attack or 9/11. It's a small community, but they let it go over their head. They don't take it too hard too much. There's been attacks and all on the mosque, but it's happening everywhere. We're not fanatics. We don't like hurting other people. Islam is about peace and tranquility. It's not about bombing and killing other people for religious needs and all that.
So we're not extremists.
We're not extremists. So just want to be looked at as equal, not as somebody who's alienated from somewhere else. Basically, that's what it is.
At the end of the day, we are all British citizens as well.
Yeah.
Quite a few people, they came across to me and they say they are verbally abused, threatened and stuff like that. But we try to resolve that sort of issue. Sometimes we found out there's a lack of understanding. It's a lack of the communication. It creates a lot of problems.
One of those people is Rafiq Ali. He runs his own sandwich business in Cardiff. He's been racially abused when delivering to corner shops around the city.
We've been having a lot of grief around Cardiff as well. As such, I went to delivering in the morning, one morning to some part of Cardiff, and there were 2 teenagers saying, "Oh my God, there's another one with the boxes." So he was like, I was looking at them strange. and they were laughing at me. So I just walked in a shop, just deliver my sandwiches, walk back out, and they're trying to open my van door at the back. Besides that, we do have a lot of grief in petrol stations and things like that nowadays. We never used to have that. And it seems like Muslim is the target everywhere you go at the moment. There are obviously people who don't know who's doing it and who's behind all this. So before they blame Muslim people, they should really research their background and find out who's doing it, all this, who's into all this.
Like the Muslim community as a whole, he condemns the London bombers. And the man who speaks for the faithful is adamant.
We spread our message to whole of the Ummah, to our children, to our family, to our youngsters. You live in the peace because Islam is the name of the peace. And the people, they don't live in the harmony. They don't care about the other people. I think they are not good Muslim.
After the break, another crisis. The community gears up to help the victims of the terrible earthquake in Kashmir. Cardiff, just before dawn. It's October the 4th, the start of Ramadan, Islam's most important festival. Muslims have to fast from sunrise to sunset. It's breakfast time in Councillor Mohammed Islam's house. The children have to finish eating before the fast begins.
Fine. You're going to finish eating quick, okay? Because you can't eat anymore. Once it's sunrise, you can't eat, so you're going to eat quicker, okay?
It's going to be a busy day for the councillor, but the festival will never be far from his mind.
You shouldn't be swearing to anyone. You shouldn't be lying to anyone. You shouldn't be thinking anything bad about anybody. You should be always thinking, within that period, you should be thinking yourself very pure, very clean, and very honest. So it is hard.
God-fearing, this is the philosophy of that. And the Quran says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. So you will be a righteous people, holy people, God-fearing people. That is the philosophy, and we get some discipline in our life.
4 days into the festival, disaster struck. On October the 8th, a massive earthquake shattered Kashmir. In Cardiff, the disaster affected some people directly.
Well, as soon as I heard, first of all, in my ward is one of the imam whose parents' houses completely demolished.